So welcome 2K fans to part 1 of my NBA 2K18 Ultimate Wishlist. Part 1 is all about new features and things that I think they should add to the game. So what up 2K fans, you know who it is. Welcome to the Shake Show. Shout out to the Naughty Gang. Thanks for hanging out with your boy. Let's dive into this wish list. So first up, as with every 2K, we want better servers for online connectivity. In my experience on the Xbox One and on the PlayStation, just way too many lag outs, especially in the Pro-Am. Old Town Park was nearly unplayable throughout the year because of lag outs. There were definitely times in the Pro-Am where lag just got out of control. I just think that we need to continuously update, upgrade, or simply move to an entire new server company, server provider. I'd love to see a new and improved Archetype system. In real life, a lot of your favorite superstars had at least 2 Archetype abilities. I'm gonna give you guys some examples. Hakeem Olajuwon, he was a post scorer and a paint protector. Shaq, he was an athletic finisher and a glass cleaner. Dennis Rodman, he was a glass cleaner and a lockdown defender. Scottie Pippen was a slasher and a lockdown defender. Kawhi Leonard, he's a shot creator and a lockdown defender. Dwayne Wade, he's a shot creator and a slasher. James Harden, playmaker, sharpshooter. Gary Payton, lockdown defender, playmaker. Heck, even Steph Curry's a sharpshooter and a playmaker. And we know the MVP, Russell Westbrook, is a slasher and a shot creator. And he's a phenomenal defensive player too. I think you guys have my point. I just want to see a more in-depth Archetype system. Obviously, I don't want it to be OP like it is now. If you give them 2 archetypes, they'll just be going out of control. I get it. But I'm just saying, when the badge is lit, maybe not boost them so much that they're OP, but kind of balance it to a certain degree. But we need to be able to make players that can do at least 2 things, because that's just the way it really is in real life. No real life superstar was only limited to one thing that they were really good at. I still would like to see new body types. No more bird chest superstars. Come on, man. We need to have ripped, skinny, kind of fat, just some different types of body types. I know they said it was kind of hard to write that into the system, but maybe we need to limit the amount of people we have in OTP and online team play and try to make it to where we can have guys of different shapes and different forms, from skinny to ripped to, you know, kind of massive or fat. There's too many examples of that. I talk about it every single year. I don't think I need to discuss it. I think you guys get the point on that as well. I asked for this last year, still think it would be cool. New custom haircuts. I still think it would be dope to have a braided hairstyle on one side and an afro on the other. Give us some barbershop tools where we can just start off with a fro and kind of fade it ourselves and maybe kind of mix and match a few things. I just think it would be better for the community. Too many complaints on either side for white guy haircuts and black guy haircuts. Just maybe give us some tools or some things that we could probably do to customize our own haircuts, because the haircuts we've been seeing from 2K for the last couple years are getting old and they're just not as cool as they could be. I'd like to see proper opacity for tattoos, or at least give us a tool to where we can kind of, you know, increase the opacity for new tattoos or decrease the opacity to make the tattoos look more realistic. I think we should have more customizable tattoos in general. Like, if we're able to put logos and things like that in for our Pro-Am teams, why not be able to put in some custom logos for our tattoos as well? We need a new My Player purchased items closet. So just like how it is when you search for gear from the New York Knicks, that's how it should look when you're searching for the gear that you've already purchased. This way you don't have to scroll through like 20 jerseys just to find the one shirt you just purchased. Really annoying and very tedious. I want to see some real life parks make it into NBA 2K18. Been asking for this for like 2-3 years now. I think we're all kind of tired of playing in the land of make-believe. I want to see some real gritty street courts or some amazing beach courts, some inner city courts. Just all kinds of real life basketball courts would be much appreciated. Moving jerseys in MyPark. Jerseys just don't move in MyPark. You guys have given us little shadow animations to make up for it, but I think it might be because there's just too many players, too much information all on one screen. Maybe we ought to reduce the numbers of people that are allowed at the park. Maybe that would reduce the loading screen times to get into the park. But I'd like to see the jerseys move. They look like plastic when you go out there, and if that's 2K's most played mode, it isn't represented very well. considering that in my career, everything looks really good, and same thing in the Pro-Am, but when you get to the park, it looks kind of plastic and fake. I'd like to have different hairstyles and clothing for different My Career, My Player characters. So like if I load up my Slasher, why does he have to look exactly like my Playmaker? Why doesn't his hair save? Why doesn't his tattoo? Why can't he have different tattoos? When you play WWE 2K, you can have different characters look entirely different from other characters. I like to see 2K, NBA 2K bring that to their series as well. We need a new badge progress meter, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Good example is I hadn't played with my Slasher in a month, and I just decided to start playing with him again in my career, and in one game I got one putback, and I got the putback king badge. Man, that's a great badge for a Slasher. Everyone wants to have some form of a counter to kind of get an idea of how close they are to reaching their badges. Every single game has this. Why not in 2K? A badge progress meter is probably one of the more detrimental things I would like to see make it into NBA 2K18, hands down. I'd like to see more emotion on court, some stare downs, some referee engagements. These are things that bring more life to the game. These are features that are just kind of loosely put into NBA 2K. You see this in real life, players arguing with referees, players staring each other down. Everyone remembers when Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant had that epic matchup, and Russell Westbrook told Durant, "I'm coming." When you don't see that in 2K, it makes some of the player models seem a little bit robotic. As I mentioned before, the cheerleaders in the game don't even smile. They look like a bunch of mannequins dancing around. This is just a personal thing for me. I don't know if this would make or break the game, but I'd like to see VC transfer from 2K17 to 2K18. If I spent money on 2K17 for VC, how come that doesn't transfer over to the next game? Or if you flat out just worked really hard in Ante Up or in My Team mode, in My Career, you generated a lot of VC over time, how come some of that can't transfer to 2K18 so at least it'll help us with building our new characters? And last but not least, another feature I'd like to see, one-on-one at my court with AI players at any given time. Like, why do I have to wait for Denver Levins or Justice to come through and challenge me 1v1? I'd like to test out some of my moves right on the spot, right when I choose them. Hey, how does this dribble work? How does this jump shot work? Let me play one-on-one right now at my court against an AI player. This way I don't have to test it out on the park either. I just think it would be pretty dope to be able to challenge players on your team or guys that come through on your personal My Court one-on-one. I don't want to have to ask friends of mine to load up into My Career, then load up into My Court, go through all those loading screens. It'd be really cool to just challenge players on my team to a game of one-on-one, 2v2, 3v3, just to test a few things out before I head out to the park or the Pro-Am. Anyway, this is only part one of a three-part series. I got a lot more that I want to discuss with you guys. As always, smack that like button to show your support. Subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I promise to be back with part 2 and part 3 of this wishlist series for you guys later. Peace.
10 more minutes, then you can go.
10 minutes? All right.
It's all about maintenance. You'll thank me in 10 years.
I bet. Yo! You back, huh?